Welcome everybody. My name is Andrew. This is the Many Launch Crowdfunding podcast, where we help you practically navigate the crowdfunding landscape together with seasoned launchers and industry experts. So our guests today are Tim and Kerry, from the award-winning London City Runners Club, a humble running meetup that started back in 2010 on the pavement outside Tim's flat. The club has since grown to over 9,000 members and boasts that the group has inspired countless friendships, 9 marriages and 3 babies, but hopefully not while running. The group is completely free and involves weekly runs across London, finishing up at a comfy local bar for a social. Over the years, the group has outgrown their post-run hangouts 8 times, and now Tim and Kerry are taking the big step to scratch the itch and live the dream by launching their own community cafe for runners, by runners, utilising the power of crowdfunding. So Tim and Kerry, very warm welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So firstly, congratulations on your launch. It's maybe comparable to some of your uphill running you do in the club. How are you guys feeling at the moment?
Excited, slightly terrified, but no, we're excited.
Yeah, it's a very uphill struggle and it's a learning curve that's very, very steep at the moment. So.
Fantastic. And how's the reaction been in the community? Because you say you've got like 9,000 members. That's quite a crowd backing you.
Yeah, it's kind of like the fantastic thing about it being free is that, you know, people, it's such a fluid thing, so that they're not all the most kind of active members all the time, but from the current members there's been a fantastic reaction in that, you know, some people just give whatever they can, and some people in particular just give absolutely everything they can, and have just been really, really impressive.
That's amazing. So how do you find these people that become like really strong advocates for running, and what's your secret sauce?
For us, I mean, I don't know, you know, there's so much kind of kindness that sits beneath the surface, I think, because we've done something for free for so long, but what we found amazing is that some of the people that we thought would give lots gave nothing, and then you know, other people like kind of almost came out of nowhere and just like, so that was kind of a surprise in a way. But you know, we kind of said if everyone obviously gave £10 that's been a member over the years, and that'd be phenomenal. But you know, sometimes those people are a bit tricky to reach, but still people have given really generously, and it's been a massive help.
That's fantastic. So why running? Like you saying back in 2010 you kind of started this meetup.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind it?
I think I kind of came down to London from Leeds, and was just an avid runner since I was a little boy, and so my dad, you know, he was a keen marathon runner, and he'd always said if you're going to run a marathon you need to join a club, because you know, you'd be so much better, you have people to train with. So I thought I'll join the local club around here. I live, you know, living in central London, and put it into Google, nothing. And the only clubs that existed were around parks, like right on the outskirts of London. And I just thought, well, that's silly, because there's beautiful routes along the river, and I want to run with other people here, not on a park further out. So, and I knew all the routes around the river, so just me and a few friends just thought, you know, yeah, why not? I'm going to go for it. So I did. Started off meeting this flat. They left their bags, and poor housemates had to like have loads of sweaty runners trail through, and then like grew from there, and it just kind of escalated.
That's cool. And so has it always been around this area here, or
yeah,
London Bridge right now? And
yeah, pretty much. We've never deviated more than like, you know, half a mile from where we're sat right now.
Yeah.
Which is a challenge, because this area has changed a lot in 8 years, and it's become very gentrified, and I think that's part of the reason why we've get moved on so much. You know, the area is just changing so much, and there's more chains coming in, and there's more people coming in, and so we're fighting for space. And then there's also just a massive growth in running in London, so there's much more running clubs and bars that are just, you know, not really suited for us. So, you know, hence the call to action, really.
Yeah.
So you say you kind of outgrew the social spaces. So every time you went running, you would go back to a social little venue somewhere. And what's the story behind the social? Actually,
yeah, I mean, Kerry and I was kind of the scene that is kind of a cycle, basically. Like, you know, first of all, you go to a pub or a bar, and you say, "We will bring you 80 plus runners on a quiet, cold, dark, dank, you know, winter's night," and they're like, brilliant. I don't have to do any advertising. I can just fill the pub. They love it. You know, they treat it like royalty for. And then after a while, they kind of, you know, they realised it wasn't necessarily the kind of target audience they had for their pub. You know, they might have other ideas, or obviously runners are relatively high maintenance because they always need water. Sometimes they sweat and smell, and like, you know, it's not, you know, it's a bit of a distraction with people on a first date or something in a pub, and all of a sudden it's full with like 90 runners. So we get that. So normally it's quite cyclical. After about a year, they say, you've been amazing, but you know, I'm really sorry. The last reason was, you know, it's the World Cup, and you know, our pub's gonna be busy, and we're like, you know,
we've also grown a lot in the last year though. We've had record attendances. I mean, after the London Marathon this year, we had a record attendance of about 140, 150 runners show up on a Tuesday. We didn't fit in the pub. The pub had 2 staff on, and you know, then we thought it would calm down, and it hasn't. I think London running has just become such a big thing in London now, and so either we were going to have to start charging for membership or find a bigger pub, or there aren't any bigger pubs. So, yeah.
We needed a really big space, and we needed that wasn't going to get frustrated by sweaty runners. And when we saw this place, we just jumped at it, and we knew it was a pretty amazing opportunity. It's like scary as it's been for us both.
Wow. So, what inspired that next step, like from jumping all these different venues to let's make our own venue?
Well, we were already starting to see ways to make money through the club. We were already selling merchandise, making a very small income for the club through that. But we also realised, you know, our members wanted to do running coaching. They wanted, you know, workshops. We tried to host them in other venues. But you know, to rent a pub on a Wednesday night around here is £500. You know, we tried to do yoga for runners, and we just were limited because of the pubs we met in. And we realised, you know, with a community the size it is, we could fill any workshop. We can fill we can get a speaker in and have them come to the club and sell tickets. We can, you know, all the merchandise is in our spare rooms at the moment, and we sell all of our merchandise out of suitcases. And it's just common sense that if we have our own space, that we could take this club to a whole other level. And you know, it seems silly not to, really.
And I think definitely keeping it free has been one of the most amazing. You know, I've spent almost a decade of my life, you know, volunteering really happily, like, you know, 2-3 times a week at least. But we realised that there wasn't going to be a future at all with the, you know, without having our own venue. And so we just thought either we let it dissipate into nothing, which would be quite tragic. You know, so many people love the club, love it being a place where they can meet other nice, friendly people in what can sometimes feel like quite a lonely city. And so, yeah, like we just figured we're bringing the footfall to a place. So that's already a pretty amazing premise for it to be a business that can now support itself and then just really help people in the local community.
And then that Network Rail Arch, which is literally 2-3 doors from where we were already meeting, came up, and we got it. And so it just felt like perfect timing, and it was, it is the perfect timing.
It felt like it was serendipity that we'd been in that little area. You know, we needed a massive space. You know, we couldn't move too far from that area, and it came available, and it's just like we walked in there, it almost felt.
And like 2 weeks, a week before we signed the lease on the venue, we actually had to be moved again into the arch next door to it.
Yeah.
So it was all just a little bit strange to be meeting in the arch.
Yeah.
Behind the wall of where we were about to sign this lease.
And we kept that as a surprise to our members.
We kept it as a secret for about 7 days and realised we couldn't keep it a secret. So we had a big night where we said to everyone, "There's a big announcement tonight," and 200 people came down. I think that was that many, and they all were worried that we were going to start charging or close the club or sell it. And so they were absolutely thrilled when we announced, "Oh no, we're actually just opening our own venue." And I wished we'd then had our crowdfunding launched that night, but we weren't ready, because that's when people were coming forward going, "What can I do? What, you know, can I give you money?" And we weren't ready.
So why did you choose crowdfunding out of interest? Like, what was your motivation to turn to that direction?
I think, you know, over the years, normally when people have had quite a few drinks, they're like, this club is amazing, I love what it's done for me. But it's a little bit almost like a bit of a random analogy. It's almost like seeing the dentist. Like when you need it in your life, you need it bad, and you need it for that period of time, and people kind of walk on. But we knew there was a huge amount of goodwill. It is a thriving community in an area that has 1,000 kind of Starbucks and McDonald's, and that makes it quite unique, and it's quite unique to other running clubs because it is free. And at any given point, we could have said, look, it's £5 each time you come or whatever. People almost spoke to us as if we were a bit stupid for not realising that, and they didn't get that actually that's what makes the club really special. That's what
So the crowdfunding was a way to get that money and give people a way to give it to us, really.
Yeah.
But then also it was a great way to get publicity, because we thought if we launch this, it's almost a stunt that I've not seen another running club do. So we thought, well, this is something not seen before, and it gives people a chance to give back. So yeah.
I thought the unusualness of it would just really capture people's imaginations.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also like so many friends that want to start like little coffee shops around around the UK, and they've got really big ideas, and I think it's really nice that you're combining that with passion for running as well. And so can you tell me a bit about because you mentioned in your crowdfunding campaign that you have like a vision of this place becoming quite like a social hub, or kind of connecting to the community. What's your vision behind that?
First and foremost, it's this business. We've got to pay the rent on that arch, which is huge. But in an ideal world, we're going to get in there. People are going to see our vision only really when they walk in there and they see all the race numbers on the wall. Lots of people have seen cycling themed cafes, and it's very much kind of based on that, but for running. And there's been nothing like that where a club has grown and grown and grown and then got a lease on its own place. There's places that may have had a vague theme on running, cafes or bars. So what we want, the vision, is that in the day we can have like elderly people that walk the route and then come back and have really good coffee and tea. We could have mother and pram sessions. It could almost be like a kind of WeWork place where it's got amazing internet, sells fantastic coffee.
We can open up running groups for people who don't have time to come to evening classes, and there's people who that we're in an area that's got quite a lot of health inequalities, so we can work with the council or local residents groups and provide run, walk, or just running, get beginners running for people who wouldn't naturally come to a running club. So we want to do that during the day, and then in the evenings we've got 4 nights a week now, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, where we host our running club. One of those is the Couch to 5K session that we want to expand on, and then we want to have workshops and events where maybe we allow brands in, or we allow nutritionists, physiotherapists, all of that. So it's bringing all of it together, the same way Parkrun seems to bring together quite a wide range of ages and communities and backgrounds. We're going to do that through a venue. So
one of the things that Kerry and I know only too well is that runners just love to talk about running. Like anyone will tell you that, especially if they've ever been on Facebook or online. And the only place they can really do that, apart from what is often quite a very competitive club where some people almost feel a bit excluded, is a running shop where you're being sold trainers. So like we even brought up this kind of slightly rubbish word, that it's a place they can go and get all runnery. It's a place they can see medals and chat to someone about what 5k or 10k they're doing, or how they're training.
And they find training partners, and
and then all the foreign trips. We've had loads of foreign trips over the years, from like Iceland, Budapest, Riga, France, you name it. And we can now publicise that and say, look, fancy a foreign trip. We're all going to go to Amsterdam this October, or whatever it might be.
I'll bring Amsterdam to your space. It sounds really big.
Oh yeah, you could probably fit them in there.
That's amazing. So just to kind of take it back to so our audience is like crowdfunders. They're super keen to hear about all of your crowdfunding tips, tricks. So we'll pick a question here. So when do you think is, because you touched upon before about when you announced that you were kind of getting this space,
Yeah.
maybe that was a good time to launch.
Yeah.
When do you feel is that is a kind of a good
A
point
good
to?
time. We got some advice through London Growth Hubs, some kind of consultant who was working through there, and she gave us the advice, most crowdfunding campaigns make most of their money in the first 2 weeks, so you want to time it so that you have your crowdfunding campaign start 2 weeks before you open. And I think with hindsight, I'm glad we ignored that advice, because with hindsight, I think the best time to launch is when you make a big announcement. So for us, we're obviously not an invention or an app, but for us, we launched when we had the video ready, and we decided not to launch until that was there and of an acceptable standard for us to. And then I think we also made the mistake of then launching it on a weekend, when I think you're supposed to launch. Is it Thursday
4
afternoon or something?
Yeah,
When most
we
people
do.
are online. And if we had our time again, I think we would plan it ahead a bit more and make sure maybe we do a pre-launch, and we've told various media outlets that we're going to do it. But for us, we timed it around when our video was ready. But if I was another crowdfunding campaign, I would say, it depends on your product, doesn't it? But
And when we read up on the importance of already having having a big social media presence, for us it was a fantastic advantage that on MailChimp, via the people that join on our website, we already had 7,000 or 8,000 people. So, we haven't ever contacted those people, really hardly ever, but we can continue that as, because some people, the first hit, it could be very easily forgotten about.
So I think if I was another crowdfund campaign, I would wait till you've got an audience.
Yeah.
We were lucky we already had one, and they were waiting for it.
Yeah.
So, but we just made the mistake, I think, of launching on a Saturday afternoon, which was when everyone was out and busy. And, yeah. So then we had to chase people, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what did you find were the biggest challenges, like pulling together your crowdfunding campaign? Can you kind of describe the weeks leading up?
We had a fantastic guy that made a video for us, and obviously that's a pretty crucial part of it. But it's amazing how things get almost lost in translation, and I think we ourselves were a bit muddied with what message we were trying to get across. We knew that we had to kind of slightly pull on people's emotional heartstrings, but that almost made the video when we first recorded it just a bit depressing.
And it made us sound like we were forming a club for people who needed help, which we're not. And we completely forgot to actually talk about the venue, the vision for it, or why anyone outside the club would invest. So we had to quickly rewrite it. So I think we've learned is if you do a video, you have a storyboard and maybe pass it around various friends or family or outsiders to get some feedback as to, have you got a reason to donate there?
And also it wasn't even that clear what it is that we were trying to do. It's a bit like when you reread a document so many times, you forget that there's a really but we didn't make it that crystal clear that we're renting our own place. It's a cafe stroke bar,
and it's a sustainable business. We weren't asking for charity.
So you really need to have your head when but it's difficult to do that when you've got 1,000 little clips and it's difficult to put it all together. But now we're really happy with the video, and we've also now got another video. So I think it's important to have a kind of layered process. So we've had that upbeat video, and we've got another video that's going to come out next week. We knew that you had to plan tweets, Instagram, and Kerry's just amazing at doing that. And so so that's been very much like a process. We did kind of think it might just go crazy initially, and it like anything in life, especially it involves money, it takes hard work, a lot of hard work, but we're getting there now.
I think as well the thing I really struggled with was coming up with the pledges as well, because when I looked on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, I didn't see a lot of campaigns that are anything like us. So I was trying to find cafes, a lot of them are in America. I was trying to work out, what would make people donate, £10, what would make people donate £30 and £50, because they're the ones that I thought people would most likely do. So that was, the £30 was easy, t-shirt, runners love a t-shirt. Haven't come up with a design yet, but that one we've already sold 40 of. And £10, I've done coffee and cake. But for higher level ones, I really got stuck. So I did a SurveyMonkey survey onto our Facebook page, and about 30 of our members told me what they would think. And you know, it surprises you what people, you know, you think you've got a good idea and people just ignore it or slate it. So it's good to do a survey. I think that's what I've learned.
I think that helped a huge amount. And also, for us, when you join a club, when you first go for one and you have all those endorphins and you meet people, you think, wow, this is like, it's just such a healthy drug. And it is amazing how just in the last month or so, a lot of people that are feeling that, you know, the kind of surf of that wave now have been like so supportive. There was one guy in particular who basically, he's been in the club for about 3 weeks. He's a lovely bloke. He loves exactly what we're doing. He completely gets it. And he just gave £1,000. And then I said to him the other day, you know, I was thanking him again, and he said that he'd try and get some lockers from his work, and they fell through for whatever reason. I said, you know, he said, look, you know, don't worry, I'll pay for it, the lockers that you've had to get. And he basically paid us £500.
That's amazing.
And some people's generosity is like, wow. And then other people that have been in the club for like 6 years, they're housemates from the running club, you know, their whole friendship groups from the running club, just get like a tenner or something. Like it's not. It's
come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit like, and you see them back at the club, and you're like, we're still crowdfunding. It'd be nice if you gave £10. Bear in mind you live in London and probably earn at least 50 grand a year.
The next challenge for us, though, when we've got 3 weeks left of our crowdfund campaign, we're going to try and push it out way beyond our members, and it's trying to get in touch with the media and bloggers and brands, and at the moment we're not getting many bites to all the arrows that we shoot out, so that's our next big challenge, is to try and attract some funding from outside.
We've tried to be quite clever in doing that in every single, you know, newspaper we've contacted, to try and already have a contact, or and try and go for those people that you do have contacts first, and then just, you know, send out like a. But yeah, again, that's not easy, or they don't get back to you that quickly, or yeah, again, we do think, I think when we're in there, the tables are quite likely to turn, where they're like, wow, they're in this space, it looks amazing, they're a thriving business. Then they'll all be, you know, but it's at this point it's still like, hello, we're here.
Yeah, I think where the advice we were given, this whole thing about most crowdfund campaigns that are successful make 30% of their target within 2 weeks. That was the advice we were given, and I realised for us that's not the correct advice, because we already had an audience, we don't have an invention, and I think most of our funds will come later when we've opened and people can touch it and feel it and see it, and then they'll go, okay, I want to give now. So I think it's being careful what advice you take, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was, you know, when we went and got the advice about which crowdfunding platform to use, it's amazing how people will give you like 1,000 links to different, and you're a bit like, seriously, we've told you this is what we're all about, this is, you know, which do you think will be the best for us? And then they turn, no, it's like this, you know, no one's gonna. But for us, it was between Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and we realised with Kickstarter that if you don't reach your campaign limit, you don't get anything, and that was far scarier. So even though I think the percentage of success was less on Indiegogo, it made a lot more sense for us to go with Indiegogo, and, you know, with our kind of community focus, and so that was, again, a very well thought out, clever choice from Kerry that you know, we don't regret one bit.
That's great. So, but you're both working full time, right?
I'm working full time.
Kerry, you talk about multitasking. Kerry does a full-time job.
At the moment, it's crazy. I don't have a spare moment to myself. If I have a spare moment, I'm tweeting or Instagramming or chasing something or looking up, you know, something for the bar on Amazon. Like, you know, there's 1,001 things to buy. There's 1,000,000 jigsaw pieces. So it's just 7 days a week at the moment, all day, every day. But it will calm down. So it's just a blip for me. It's fun, you know. It's a fun thing to do. You know, it gets to, you know, use your creativity, and I wish I had more time to spend on it. And I have taken a week off here or there to manage it.
It would be inconceivable, the idea of me doing this on my own. I just couldn't do it without.
Yeah,
Carry
you need
on.
a team, and we have a kind of, it's not just us, we have a blogger and we have various people in the club who, have made themselves indispensable.
And also, there's so many fantastic skills of people in the club that for this cafe has helped. We've had carpenters,
graphic designers, illustrators, broadcast engineers,
lawyers. You whatever skill you need, there's someone that will say, hey, I'm happy to help out, and that's been just great.
Yeah.
Tomorrow all day we'll be there with people making frames and just getting stuck in. You don't get that if you open a new Starbucks.
That's very true. So how do these people come through the woodwork? How do you find the right team to work with?
They come to us.
They come to us.
A lot of people have said they want to help, and then we've put Facebook events up to say, okay, you want to help? Come on Saturday and scrub the mould off the walls, and 10 people will show up. So they rise to the top.
Sometimes they like to say they want to help, but the disparity between them actually. But then you get people. There's one guy we both know that he's a really lovely guy, member of the club. He has just given. He's been driving around liquidation centres with us. He's given loads of money on the crowdfunding campaign. He just can't help enough. This guy's an absolute legend.
Yeah, he's furnished half of our arch actually with furniture for free.
Yeah.
So, I think the crowdfunding campaigns are not just for us meant money, but it's meant that some people have come forward and help us in more material ways. Yeah. Which means that if we don't make the target, it doesn't matter really. Our setup costs have been a lot lower than we ever expected.
And it's quite heartwarming that when you're starting off a business to have lovely people around you that just support what you're doing and say, I think it's brilliant, and I want to support you.
Yeah, and I think we were naive. We thought that when we started, almost everyone would give a tenner, and obviously only we've had maybe 150 people give donations over 3 weeks of chasing. But you focus on the ones who give a lot. You realise that there's a lot of great people out there, and don't focus on all the people who won't give any money.
Yeah, especially in a world where within running, the one thing runners are always going around is asking you for money for for another charity. It's a fantastic thing about our sport that it's synonymous with raising money for good causes. But that's it's just makes it a little bit tricky when you ask it.
So what have you kind of taken? I know your campaign is still in full swing, but what have you kind of learned through the process, on a personal level? What have you gained from?
I think one of the things I've learned is that no matter what happens, if something doesn't take off at first, you just keep going at it anyway. Just don't give up. I think I'm quite good at doing that anyway, but I think this has brought that out in me.
Yeah, just being quite adaptable. If one thing doesn't work, try another thing.
Exactly.
But definitely don't just let it fizzle out, and bit by bit you get there.
Yeah, going viral with something isn't very easy, is it?
No. And maybe that's a kind of sign from the gods. If it did go too viral, we can't be too busy. We're already bursting at the seams in terms of members and that kind of stuff. So that could be a weird blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe we can start to wrap this up a little bit. So if anybody's maybe a runner in London, or they're interested in running, or they want to support your campaign, where can they find you guys, and how can they?
Well, within the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to be in this arch. It's on 130 Druid Street, just near Tower Bridge. Anyone that likes running, even if you don't like running, the whole point about our club is we're not super competitive. We're not going to judge someone from what time they do a 10k, and we pride ourselves in having the couch to 5k.
So it doesn't matter how fast you go, or don't worry about being last because no one would notice. Just you can come by. We have a couch to 5k on Monday nights that you can find out about on our website. And our website's very easy to find. If you Google London running clubs, London City Runners comes up. Probably the first unpaid.
It's pretty much always top.
Which is, one of the great reasons for our success as well, is that we don't struggle to attract new people.
But genuinely, everyone is welcome. That I think it's that ethos that's that's led to, us being really
And
successful.
then if you want to find our crowdfunding campaign, we're on Indiegogo,
Mm.
and we've tweeted about it, Instagrammed about it. We're just pushing it out every day.
Mm. And there's lots of pledges there, so even if you've never run with us before, you whether it's getting an amazing coffee and there's all sorts of different pledges there, pretty much for everyone. So yeah, anyone that can support us, every single little bit gets noted and really is appreciated.
Awesome. I'll definitely be coming down for a coffee.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Andrew.
Cool. So I thought I would quickly finish with some rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah. I'm slightly nervous, but yeah, go on.
So name a strange running habit that you have that your members may or may not know about.
It's true. I'm weirdly silent when I run. A lot of people have said it's so odd. Like, how do you not make any sound? But there's all sorts of habits of other people. Not exactly a perfect runner, but I've had other people in races spit and kind of they're not very accurate with their spitting and almost a little bit's gone in my mouth. I'm not sure why I shared that, but so anyone else that spits, if you could aim better, thanks.
I don't think I have any strange running habits. I'm a coffee addict, so probably my thing is to have a coffee before I run. I'm weirdly calm as well. Like Tim's seen me just before I run a marathon. I don't get nervous at all anymore.
That's
which is bizarre. Yeah,
I literally don't sleep the night before a race.
Whereas I can start a marathon and even have the countdown and be like,
yeah. That's not normal. But very impressive.
Cool. So maybe on that note, what's the most challenging running event that you've ever participated in?
I did the New York Marathon, and it was my first marathon, and many stupid men with a lot of testosterone thought I was kind of God's gift to running, and I definitely wasn't. Went out and did the first half in 1:27 or something like that, and I thought I could get this sub 3 hours, which is this kind of holy grail for marathon runners, and just hit the wall, as runners say, with it hard, and they tried to pull me out of the race, and I said no, I'll keep going, and I had to get medical attention once I got over the line, and it was just marathon running especially, you realise that it's something that you can spend a lifetime trying to improve, and that's part of what makes it so addictive. You always think, if I hadn't done this and I hadn't done that, but yeah, it's all about the training, and I learned that in New York that day.
I think for me it was just the marathon I did which was Budapest, and I didn't really train properly because this British summer was particularly hot that year, and I don't like hot weather running, so I didn't do enough training, but I got through it. But I think it took me 2 weeks to walk again.
It's the moral of the story, is train.
Yeah, you got to train for a marathon.
And the last one is, what's your favourite running song? Do you have a motivational song? You just get the zone.
This is really not very cool, but I actually find one of the best beats that I used to love training to was 50 Cent, just because the rhythm is amazing for while you're running. So so I used to listen to quite a lot of as I was running along, which is quite amusing.
I have a favourite song. I have a Spotify playlist, and it's mostly songs that I used to go raving to. So when I'm in the zone, I feel I've got a little bit of a dance on.
They always say that can help though, but if you've got Prodigy, then you run like a maniac. If you've got Coldplay, then you're just kind of going very slowly, so it does affect your speed.
You can see who those people are in the line.
You can see who's listening to Prodigy because they're zooming on.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks guys for sharing the journey with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the listeners who've joined us on the podcast. So if you want to hear more inspirational crowdfunding stories, please follow us on facebook.com/manylaunch. Be sure to check out manylaunch.com to springboard your own idea into a successful crowdfunding project like these guys. So until next time, many launch, and so can you.